Tonight was a bittersweet moment for us with the Fair Housing Center. It really was with the passing of Cliff Schrupp. But when you talk about leadership, Cliff was really the epitome of leadership. A lot of people said a lot of nice things about Cliff this evening, and they're all true.
Cliff is gone in body. He's never going to be gone in spirit for any of us that were ever involved in any of this. And his legacy is for us and for those that come after me and after Steve and after Margaret to continue, because the need will be there after we're long gone.
Oh, Cliff was amazing. His dedication, his tireless work. I've never met anyone who worked so hard and so long every week in his job. The intelligence he brought to the task. He understood issues, as I said in my presentation today. He got to the heart of things very quickly, much quicker than I would get to things. And so I think that made him a good tactician for the movement and more effective as a leader in the fair housing field.
He gave everything of himself to what he did and what he did for the center. Everybody will talk about that he was always there. He and I used to call each other on Sundays because I always knew that where he was going to be, he was at the Fair Housing Center, and he always knew where I was going to be, at my law office, working on stuff. He had a heart that unfortunately stopped, but none of us would have ever believed that it would have ever stopped, because he was as dedicated a human being to one of the most important issues that we have to deal with.
Cliff would not ask you to do anything that he would not do. He also passionately believed in equality for everyone. He was a minister, but it was not religious. It was what he thought was just right. And he was one of the most patient and considerate people that I know. He didn't agree. If he didn't agree with you, or if he thought it was wrong, he didn't challenge you on it. He tried and he persuaded you to see a different perspective. And usually what he wanted to do was right. But he was just so passionate. He devoted his life to what he thought was what everyone had a right to have, which was access to a decent place to live.
He brought to the task so many skill sets that are critical for someone who's going to be effective in creating change. And he put all of that, every bit of his energy, toward trying to create a more open and inclusive community free of discrimination. And that's been his life. It's been his sole mission in life.
He demonstrated and he lived exactly what he thought. And you don't see that 100% like you did with him.
Cliff turned what was at a point in 1977, when it was founded, it was just sort of an idea, into an institution. And more than anything else, he brought the concept of fair housing and the importance of fair housing in terms of being an integral part of addressing the issues of racial justice in the metropolitan Detroit area. He brought it to the forefront. And he was one who reminded us that even though things may seemingly be better, that statistically the problem still exists. Even though we may have made significant racial strides in our country, that is no real indication of the amount of work that still needs to be done. And Cliff never let us forget that.